What's going on, everybody? TJ here from TJ's Take. We're breaking down some Thursday night football tonight. We've got the Giants and the Patriots. We're in New England. It is going to be wet. It is going to be rainy. Both the same thing. And it is going to be windy, is what I meant. Gusts that can reach about 30 miles per hour. It's probably going to stay around 15, which is still very windy. Kind of changes our approach a little bit. We'll change our situational lineups a little bit. Probably won't go through the air as much. Might even be able to fade Brady a little bit. Both of these teams are a little banged up. A lot of these Patriots guys, I think, will play. Julian Edelman, chest injury, he'll probably play. Burkhead, I don't know, still kind of iffy on. I think he'll play, but we'll see. Josh Gordon, I think he'll play. Just a boatload of injuries on the Giants side. Shepard's out, Wayne Gallman's out, Evan Ingram's out, obviously Saquon's out. I mean, just a ton to count. Philip Dorsett's out for the Patriots. So Devlin's out. I mean, that just leaves us a pretty fun slate, in my opinion, and salary does not matter one bit when you have that many injuries. And I mean, a windy, rainy game like this, that's why it's fun. I think somebody's going to take down that 200,000 all of themselves, or maybe split with one or two people. It's going to be that kind of night where it's just going to be something crazy. You can leave 8,000, 9,000 on the table. So we can just do whatever we want. Don't even look up there at the salary. This is just going to be pure situations and see who out of these Giants will produce. With Saquon and Gallman out, they're turning to Hilliman. Hilliman actually projected a good amount of points, and in a game like this, I can see why. I mean, really, this is one of the tougher games the Patriots have had. They really haven't played anybody. I know that defense looks amazing right now, but I think this is a pretty decent offensive team. Even with these guys out, I still think they'll be able to do something. Daniel Jones isn't terrible. They've got Golden Tate back. Some of these guys are going to have to do something, so we've got to pick them out. Cody Latimer's really cheap. He'll be starting. He'll be getting a ton of snaps tonight. So I think we'll just kind of pick and choose. Obviously, we'll be more New England heavy in this one, but don't be surprised if some of these Giants guys come out and get you 12, 15 points, especially if they're playing from behind and they try to go through the air, or they're throwing a lot of dump downs to these receivers. They could get a lot of catches, so something to keep in mind there. Over under, if you're wondering why it's so low, it's because of the weather. So if you were looking at this game and didn't know it was going to rain, don't lock in the over at 42. I actually really like the under tonight, under 42 with all that wind. Patriots are 16.5-point favorites. Wow, that is a lot. Yeah, so I love the running game in this one. No other way around it. I love James White catching little dump downs. Julian Edelman, you can always go to him. He's going to have some dump downs. The one thing I'm going to be curious about the most is Tom Brady. I don't know if they get down there, if they're even going to risk passing it. It doesn't seem like something the Patriots will do. I think they'll just try and jam it in with Michelle or Burkhead or James White or one of these guys. Devlin isn't playing. So, if you're looking for a guy who's going to fill in for him, who might be able to get a garbage touchdown. Sorry about that. 1 second. Jacob Johnson's probably your guy. I see Benny Fowler down here, who I didn't notice before. Yeah, Benny Fowler might actually get a good amount of touches too. I didn't realize he was so cheap at $5K tonight. With Evan Ingram out, they're turning to Rhett Ellison at the tight end position. The Giants are. Don't mind that play at all. Matt Lacoste, he's going to fall down a little bit. Probably won't get too much exposure at all with Ben Watson back. And we saw Ryan Izzo catch a touchdown. What was that, last week? 2 weeks ago? So those will be the main tight ends I'm focusing on. Mostly Ben Watson, I think. Brandon Bolden's in there at the running back position too. I still like Burkhead over him if Burkhead's playing. Let me check any more news on Burkhead. Okay, Burkhead right now is expected to sit out. I still don't love Brandon Bolden. If anything, I like that Jacob Johnson a little more. But Bolden definitely not a guy to forget about. I mean, we have Elijah Penny at the same price. One of them's going to be the backup. The other one's the third string. So I like Elijah Penny over him. But hey, if you're going for that big 200K all to yourself, why not throw Bolden in some? John Hilliman, like I said, he's going to be the starting running back for the Giants tonight. He's expected to get a good amount of points, a lot more than I thought, against the Patriots defense that we really don't know that much about. I mean, are they the best defense in the league, or are they somewhere just above average, or maybe even average? We don't really know, and I think this game, it's kind of a bummer that there's weather in this game because we would know more about them as opposed to a tough night for the offenses throwing against that wind and yeah. So, I mean, I still don't think we'll get a really great idea on the Patriots, but I think we'll definitely get a better idea of what they are on defense. James White, one of my go-tos of the night. As far as the top spot goes, I'm thinking it's James White, Sony Michel, Julian Edelman, or Tom. Tom being my last one. I mean, that was probably in order. Actually, my order would probably be Sony, Julian Edelman, James White, and then Tom. Obviously, can't forget about Josh Gordon. Can obviously catch some touchdown passes, but I'm going to focus more on the ground today. So let's just go right into it and see what kind of lineups we can make here. Bring up the kickers first. Just really don't like either of these kickers. I don't think they're very good. They can both miss chip shots. Rosas has been terrible, and kicking against this wind, I think I'll stick with the position players tonight, which is weird because I usually do love at least one of the kickers, but not tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and plug Sony Michel in that top spot and follow him right up with Tom and James White, and we'll just see where we can go from there. So there's our main three, and then I'm going to go here and plug in Hillman, and that'll leave us 12,500, just like that. So I like coming down here. You can pick, you can go Josh Gordon, you can go Darius Slayton, who's expected to have a big night as well. I like going Golden Tate. I did like going Rex Burkhead, but if he's not playing, that kind of stinks. But with Tom Brady in there, and we have James White in there as well, I'm going to go with another one of his receivers, and let's plug Ben Watson in there and see what he can do. I mean, this Giants team doesn't have the greatest defense. Ben Watson is back. I'm sure he'll get some touches in this one, especially if they get in the red zone and they do have to pass. I think Ben Watson will be a target down there. And could be a good touchdown shot. And if you do that, you leave $6,000 on the table right there. So let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go do another one. And let's put Edelman up there in the top spot. I'm going to follow him with Sony Michel and Tom. And then let's come here. Here's what we have $18,000 salary remaining, so we're going to leave salary no matter what. Let's plug in Daniel Jones. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. I wanted to leave Tom out of this one. Well, I'll do that next time. Let's plug Tom in this one. And that leaves us $9,000 per player in this one. Okay. So let's go grab Daniel Jones. No, that doesn't work. That leaves us $4,500. This is not the build I was expecting. Okay. So I'm going to come here and grab Hillman again. That's what I want to do. And then we leave the $10,000, and then I like grabbing Cody Latimer down here. I mean, you can grab any of the receivers. You can afford any of them. But I think if you drop all the way down to Latimer, who is a starter, who should see the same, if not a little bit more catches than a Golden Tate at almost $3,000 less dollars, I'm going to go there because I do see people having that lineup, those four guys, and then backing it up with a good Giants or a good Patriots receiver, but obviously at a higher price. So I'm going to come down here and get Latimer at $5,500 so we can leave $4,500 on the table there. And now let's go to the build that I was thinking of before. I'm going to fade Tom in this one. So I'm going to plug Sony Michel up top. Just go James White with those touchdowns. I'm going to go Daniel Jones because he can get points on his legs, and he's going to have to play some catch-up in this game, I feel like. And then Daniel Jones to Slayton, if I can find him. And now, so that leaves us 14-5. So in a build like this, where we have two running backs for New England, James White, obviously more of a receiver, Daniel Jones throwing to Darius Slayton. So now we kind of have to figure out what to do. Do we go with another Patriot because we think they're going to score a lot of points, or we can go how I think this game is going to go. Patriots keep a steady lead, but the Giants do have to play catch up. So I'm going to throw three Giants guys in there in case that is how this game goes. Sony Michel runs in two. James White gets a bunch of the dump downs because it's a windy game. I know we can get up to Julian Edelman, and then we have five great position players right there, which is okay to do. You still leave $1,000 salary, but I want to leave even more and take a shot here and just come down here and get Hillman. Why not? He can easily, at the running back position tonight, can easily outscore Edelman in a windy and rainy game. So we leave 6,500 just like that. I mean, those are all good players who will touch the ball, who are going to get a lot of snaps, and you still leave $6,500 on the table. Not a bad lineup at all. Another guy I wanted to mention, with Dorsett out, where is he? Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is going to be playing a good amount. Number 3 wideout tonight. Got a couple targets last week, only for 6, or caught one for 6 yards, but should be a bigger part of the game plan tonight. And a game like this, if the Patriots do jump out early, or they're keying on Edelman, they're trying to get Gordon out of the game. Tom Brady likes to go to, these different options the Patriots do in general. So let's throw him in a flex spot here. And let's plug. For this top spot, let's go with James White. So since we have Jacoby Myers in there, let's go with Tom. So Tom throws to each of these guys. We have 27.5 remaining. We'll go ahead and grab Daniel Jones. I'm going to go ahead and grab Golden Tate. Leave $6,000 on the table. James White, Jacoby Myers, Tom Brady, Daniel Jones, Golden Tate. These builds are just looking better and better. The amount of lineups you can make where you can leave this much salary is just insane. And in big tournaments where you're only going to tie with, some of these you might only tie with 4 or 5 people. You might have some all to yourself. I love it. Kind of a bummer Burkhead's out. I kind of liked the approach of playing James White and Sony Michel and Burkhead together. Something the Patriots would do is, getting all of them a touchdown. I could definitely see that happening. Let's go a little crazy and make something that we wouldn't think people would have necessarily. So in that top spot, let's go with Josh Gordon. I like him tonight with that questionable tag. I haven't put him in a lineup yet, but I do like him. So Josh Gordon, we'll put Tom in there. Let's go 4 Patriots. So I'm going to go James White and Sony Michel. So if you haven't noticed, I'm basing a lot of my line. I'm working around James White and Sony Michel a lot, just because I think they're going to get a ton of touches in this game. Just the way it's going down with the weather. I just love playing those guys and building around them. If you have 2 and then you're building 3 guys around them and you're playing a lot of lineups or a good amount of lineups, that's a good way to go about it. You can see how much salary you're leaving. If you have one with 6,000, try and make one with 7,000. Try and make one with 5,500, so you're being different every time. That's just. You have 11,000 right here. I love just coming down here and it's simple. Just grab Hillman. You leave 3,000. You have Josh Gordon up top, so you're already different. Sony Michel and James White and Tom. I just think that top spot makes the difference here with Josh Gordon instead of one of those other guys. So let's go ahead and make one. Let's say Hillman's the only one doing anything for this very, very injured Giants defense. Let's plug Hillman up top, and let's see the Patriots only score once or twice, and it's to different guys each time, and Hillman's able to get in the end zone once and gets a bunch of yards. Maybe he falls in twice. Who knows? I like putting him in the top spot there. Just in case they do throw to him in the end zone, I like backing it up with Daniel Jones. So we have Hillman up top, Tom Brady, Daniel Jones. So let's find a target for each of these guys. For Tom, let's just go ahead and grab Edelman. And for Daniel Jones, we have 9,000 remaining. You could grab a Slayton, but that only leaves you 500. I like coming down here, and we can go with Latimer, of course, but let's grab Ellison here and leave 4,000 on the table just to be a little bit different. Again, you can plug any receiver in there. For this build, let's just plug in Ellison and leave the 4,000. So Hillman up top, Tom Brady, Daniel Jones, Julian Edelman, Red Ellison. I mean, basically what I'm showing you here is just the guys I'm going to play and how, and the situations, how to go about playing it. I'm playing a lot of running backs, throwing reliable receivers in there who run short routes. I mean, DJ, or whatever the Slayton guy's name is, TJ Jones, another guy to look out for too on that Giants defense. But Darius Slayton, a guy who is projected a lot. I wasn't too huge on him, but a guy to definitely look out for around his price. I don't expect him to go super low owned, but if you throw him in some instead of Hillman, it might just end up paying off for you. If they shut down the run and they're throwing little checkdowns to Slayton, I've yet to see really what kind of receiver he's going to be. But if that is the case and they aren't going to Golden Tate as much or any of their other targets, then that could end up paying off for you. So just kind of go through some guys I missed here or might have missed. Rosas, do not like him tonight. Nugent, again, don't like him tonight. But, I mean, you can definitely take a shot on him. Elijah Penny, I think he's kind of a dart throw, but again, that's what these huge tournaments are sometimes. Don't think he's the most reliable. Well, the only thing I'm really scared of is who's going to get Burkhead's touches, if they're just going to shift it up to the James White or Sony Michel, like I assume, or if they're going to give one of the, like Brandon Bolden or this backup fullback, a lot of the touches. So that's going to be very interesting to me. So try and maybe, if you're making a lot, try and filter some of these guys in, the Jacob Johnson and Bolden. I think you can cut Lacoste tonight. I don't think he's going to get much playing time, not many snaps. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We have a single game in the MLB tonight. I'll just brush through that one really. It's Garrett Cole on the mound. If you're playing MLB, I would just say, I know you probably did it the other night with Verlander pitching. You probably just stacked a bunch of Astros, but Verlander was on 3 days rest. Promise you, there's probably not going to go the Rays' way tonight with Garrett Cole on the mound. I'm thinking just go 4 Astros, leave some salary, and then plug a cheap Rays guy in or plug Tommy Pham in and leave some salary, and I think that's your best chance at winning that. We'll be back, obviously, for football on Sunday. We've got some more baseball coming up, and other than that, that is pretty much it. Good luck tonight, and send over some screenshots if you win anything.